Hello, beautiful people. I'm going to talk about something that I feel is necessary that hasn't been done. Not that I think it ever will be done, but I am patiently waiting from the Cox family, expressly meaning Janice and Summer Shitlett. I'm waiting for them with their niece Melani and Ian Pawlowski now to come out and apologize to Kay Woodcock for them blaming her for shouting out that she thought the kids were in harm's way. I think ideas that the kids were in harm's way were right on. Neither Summer Shitlett, Janice Cox, or Melani and Ian Pawlowski have apologized. And to be honest, at this point, it's like 9 days after or 10 days after the bodies of JJ and Tylee have been recovered. I think it's a little too late. I think if they did come out and apologize for blaming Kay for why the kids were hidden from the world. And if they did apologize, it would be, in my opinion, a very weak apology and not genuine at this point at all. But I'm just pointing it out to the world that they haven't done anything to say to the world that Kay Woodcock was on the right path. She did have the right concerns. And as we all wish that her concerns that the kids were in harm's way didn't come true. But they did. And we know who did the harm to the children. Melani Pawlowski, it is sad that the so-called high-spirited Tylee didn't have the direction or guidance in honing in those social skills. I've heard over and over that she would say what she wanted, no holds barred. That must have irked Chad, Lori, and you, and maybe even Alex. Cults and their suppression of behaviors don't include people with a want to search for justice and righteousness. No wonder you're implying she was hard to handle. This leads me to think that I know not only for the $6,000 a month she might have been killed by your Aunt Lori, Chad, Alex, and maybe even with the help of you. Yeah, Melani, helping to kill. Could you, by merely not doing anything to save her? Hey, when Brandon was shot at, when Charles had been killed, wasn't this enough history to know that your Chad and Aunt and Uncle Alex might be serial killers? So what happened to your sense of knowing Lori might not be protecting others? That alarms should have been going off and screaming alarms when the kids were nowhere to be seen. You said you visited in October before you moved up to Rexburg. This would have been shortly after the kids went missing. Or let's change that. They were never missing. They were killed. In part by Lori and Chad, and most likely your fave. Yes, your fave. Yeah, the man who had all of the wisdom to share with you about living life. He may have killed your cousins. And you were hanging out with all three? Why is your statement about how frisky Tylee was and how repulsed with the three. How come you weren't repulsed by your time spending with those three now? How come you haven't come out to the public and say, I'm repulsed that I was living day by day with Alex, Chad, and Lori? You haven't said that. Your letters blame the public still. Your letters have an inference to blame Kay Woodcock because you don't mention her. Now you're not blaming her anymore. But by leaving her out gives that message without saying it that she is still at fault somehow. Oh, Tylee's strength? See, I don't see her being out of control teen. The same teen you said you had no relationship with because of her teenhood. Instead of bringing her along in her teens like most people do, they help the teens make some steps and they help the teens gain a voice. You abandoned her because you guys, you cultish weirdos, can't stand one who is not submissive. She was unbrainwashable. Yes, Melani, not like you. She was unbrainwashable, and you all knew it. Is the money, the $6,000 they received, plus the idea that Tylee wouldn't go on the magic cult carpet ride, the other reason she is no longer with us? See, Melani, your personality, you're quite different. You appear to be stunted, still in a toddlerhood state. And as toddlers do, they recite things over and over. And they walk away as if they just believed what they said. When toddlers do that, we chuckle. When women, especially women with children, act like that, we have concerns. Lifeless, empty, no spark, no fight. We wonder what happened to your ability to think critically and defensively in this case. See, Melani, you proved you didn't do anything for the children. Yes, you proved that. You even today haven't shared your repulsion for what happened to the children. You come off like with words as if you know they wanted death. Your words, if you truly know that they are in a better place. I don't believe you. The only thing I believe that Tylee was killed for the income, that monthly income, and that the monsters couldn't stand her because they couldn't keep a teenager's mouth shut. She knew the monsters were real.